Hey, I'm Doug Stevenson for Press Plus One. Well, Sloan have become one of Canada's most celebrated rock bands over the past 20 years. They were recently in Belleville, Ontario as part of their twice-removed re-release tour, and I caught up with Jay and Chris upstairs at the Empire Theatre.
On an innocent trip, how can one ruin so much? A belief in a soul, in a beauty, or in a touch? It's like a three-legged dog in search of a crutch. Dissecting it past all the motives as such.
We started early 1991, and by we had played maybe a dozen shows in Halifax.
Literally 11 shows, I think, and then we were signed to Geffen, the biggest, coolest label in the world at the time.
That was basically like a shot out of the cannon. Like, it was not just like, hey, we'll help you get a show. It was all of a sudden you're on the same label as Nirvana and Sonic Youth and Hole and Teenage Fan Club. Like, this is the place to be, you know what I mean? And I was a big fan, and I guess we all kind of were. That was the big boost in confidence, I guess, or I don't know. It was the big boost to our career that nobody else in Canada, let alone the Maritimes, had really had up to that point. So
that's the joke of Twice Removed too. Not only are we not from there, we're not even from like up here.
Yeah.
We're from nowhere.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're kind of twice removed from the world.
Yeah.
Our A&R guy was an underling A&R guy just up from the mailroom named Todd Sullivan, and he signed us. He was the underling of a guy, Tom Zutaut, who had signed Guns N' Roses, so he was a big wig there. There were 3 big A&R guys there. So Todd Sullivan was from that stream, and a lot of the cool bands, Nirvana, Sonic Youth, and all those guys came in through another doorway, through Gary Gersh. So we kind of came in not through the kind of cool school of a lot of those groups, but within about a year of us signing and blowing it and kind of just deciding like I was a big baby and I wanted to break up the band because I couldn't have everything my way or whatever. And then Todd signed Weezer during that time, and then in that year, like Zutaut was gone, Gary Gersh, the guy who signed all those cool bands, was gone. Like Todd Sullivan, our guy, became the big seller at Geffen through Weezer, like in about a year's time. So if we had kind of if we had hung in there, we may have benefited from his power. He didn't really have a lot of power when we signed with him. I was barely at NASCAR.
Okay.
I went to Dalhousie, and then I was like, what am I going to do now? And I didn't have the marks, or I didn't have the smarts to do a postgraduate. And I had done 4 years of university, and I was kind of like, well, I guess I'm a grown-up. I don't know what to do. So I was just killing time doing another undergrad. But the whole time I was actually working as a messenger porter in the hospital. And that told me, once we got a chance to make something of ourselves, we got really lucky in the wake of Nirvana, and then we got signed to Geffen. And we had an opportunity, and knowing how much I hated that job was what made me think, I gotta work hard to not blow this. And Jay's a really good worker too.
Working at a record store definitely instilled that desire to want to play music. And the store that I worked at, it was all about literally, like the Kinks and the Beach Boys and the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and everything. And it totally just opened up, not to sound cheeseball, but like an alternate world for me that I wanted to be a part of. I didn't know how, but I think that was really probably the genesis of wanting to play music, or the fantasy of playing music as a living. And I just thought, I gotta make this happen somehow. Last year was our 20th anniversary as a band, and we had a new album out called The Double Cross, and we had talked, Chris and I guess primarily over the years, about what should we do about reissuing older albums, and maybe it'd be fun to do an album front to back, which has sort of been common over the past few years of bands revisiting older albums and maybe bringing out fans that hadn't been to a show in a long time, you know what I mean? It was kind of like this year, once the Double Cross stuff was done, we didn't really have a plan for 2012, and we thought it might be just a good time to do a tour and a reissue. So it was almost just like it was an open calendar. So we thought, well, let's let's try that plan this year that we've been talking about for a few years.
And for me and Jay, we're archivists, and we kept everything, so it's a good it's a good reason to have kept everything.
Yeah.
And it was also, it's an excuse to do a tour like this where we play an album front to back, sort of imagining that in our future we probably have at least 5 records, maybe we could do that. And the band's still intact. It's not like it's a reunion. We're still the same band, and we're 4 songwriters, so we can still do the records. We're not missing one of the guys, so we can still do the whole thing. Jay and I were in a band before Sloan,
Right.
literally 25 years ago. And if I had to think about some of those lyrics, I would be really going, oh my God. Like if I had to tour the record that we made in 1989, I think it would be even more emotional. By that I mean constantly embarrassed.
Yeah.
But I think we
Tears
were fully realized by we'd been playing in bands for years. By nothing on the record is embarrassing or like that formative or like I can't believe we did that. Like I think we're kind of doing a variation on that record still. Should we buzz in?
Yeah. Oh, maybe you should. Okay. Although.
His will be like a tap and mine will be a knock.
Okay. Now I think Jay may have the advantage on this one because I know he's.
That's Elvis Costello, Goodbye Cruel World, 1984.
Wow, and he named the year.
You have Mike's.
Okay.
I know this one.
Okay. Can I give this one to you?
Sure, I'll take this one. Sonic Youth Daydream Nation, paintings by Gerhard Richter. And the year, I would say, I don't know,
1988.
88?
That's right. Oh. Is that the...
My kids.
Oh gosh, I don't even know. Like it looks sort of like a Lemonheads album cover, but I don't know the name of that record at all.
Hate Your Friends.
Oh yeah.
Good one.
This one's probably an easy one.
I'm not even answering that.
We refuse to answer that because we're insulted that you showed that to us.
So this one you'll easily guess the artist, but can you guess the title? And did you know it existed?
Is that how you spell his name?
Steven Seagal.
I would say sings the songs of Stevie Ray Vaughan. I've never come across a more random sampling of music.